Okay, can you state your name and your career and the number of years you've been doing it?
Sure. My name is Mary Ellen Kelly. I am a pediatric nurse practitioner. I have my doctorate in nursing and a master's in health science clinical research. I work as a pediatric nurse practitioner in pediatric urology and have been doing this for 12 years.
Great. Can you just tell us a little bit about what is entailed in urology? What is that?
Yeah. So urology is just your plumbing, basically. We always just say we're glorified plumbers because we deal with everything kidneys, ureters, which drain your urine from your kidneys down to your bladder and then out. So basically, all of the plumbing in your system comes to urology.
Great. So your career path. So how did it begin and how long did it take to get where you're at?
So I originally went to undergrad and got a degree, bachelor's degree in just biology. Finished that and didn't really know what I wanted to do. At first, I thought I wanted to go into pediatrics or neonatology as an MD field. I got scared away when I realized how long residency and fellowship was going to take. So I had a really cool mentor who said, "Have you ever thought about being a nurse practitioner?" And I said, "What is that?" And they kind of explained that you're doing many of the same things that a physician does, but you're just trained very differently. So I went for it. So I got a second bachelor's, kind of one of those accelerated bachelor's and master's programs, as like a second bachelor's degree shortly after my initial. And then 3 years later, got the doctorate. And then actually, like 9 years later, got the clinical research degree on top of that.
So yeah, I mean, you've done a lot of schooling, as much as like any physician, that's for sure. In terms of if you were just coming out of high school and you're like thinking I would be a nurse practitioner, how many years and what's the normal path?
So if you are smarter than me and figure this out early, then you can do nursing as your undergrad at any college. So you got your 4 years of undergrad, and then you just need a master's degree to get your NP, which is generally about 1 to 2 years, depending on what program. There are a lot of programs now that if you've already gotten, a bachelor's in something else, then you can do an accelerated program that's 2 to 3 years, and then you're done. If you want to get the doctorate on top of it, you can usually just add on 1 year or so. So there's a lot of options, which is really great. And there's a lot of options as well with like in-person NP programs or virtual online-based, distance-based programs where maybe you come to campus once a year, twice a year, et cetera, to get some intensive skills. But otherwise, you're doing a lot of it remote. So there's a lot of options, I think, about how you can get your degrees.
That's fantastic. Where do you work now and how long have you been there?
Sure. So I'm currently at Duke University. I have been here for 7 years now. And before that, I was actually working out in Southern California, also in pediatric urology. I did take a little shift, which I think is really unique to the nursing profession, especially being an NP. I used to do clinical practice in urology for every day, 5 days a week. And then recently, about a year ago, kind of stepped back. And now I do a lot more teaching. I do a lot more research and just do clinic about once a week. So you're able to kind of really pick and choose, I think, what you want to do as you kind of build your career.
I can't believe you've been there for 7 years.
I
That is flown by.
know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hopefully not more than a couple more years and we'll have you back. So can you just tell us what's a day in the life of your job? And I know that it's a little different than most, like you do a lot of research, but like what's a normal day like if
Give
there
you
is a
both.
normal day?
Yeah, I was going to say, just given kind of where I am right now, there's kind of like 3 different days. So on a clinical day, I just go to my clinical practice. I'm able to kind of make my schedule, which is really convenient. So I drop off my kids at school and then I go to clinic. Being in a subspecialty as well, I think we have a lot of flexibility, and I'll see like maybe 9 patients over the course of the day. So we get like almost an hour per patient, which is really nice. And so that'd be like a clinical day. There's days where I teach, and there's a lot of online Zoom meetings or in person teaching physical assessment classes. And then the majority of my days now are spent doing research. So I'm writing grants with the NIH or the CDC, writing up papers, doing clinical research, either recruiting my patients and consenting them, or getting them involved with trials. So a lot of different layers, a lot of different days. Depends on what it is.
Wow, I mean, that's super diverse. I have a similar thing where it's different stuff almost every single day. What is the favorite part of your job?
So I was thinking about this question, and I think I have two things. One is the flexibility. So I think being a nurse practitioner, you've got that nursing degree behind you as well. Um, there's so much flexibility in what you can do. And I think that's really cool. So you can be in clinic all the time. You could fall back and just be an RN somewhere and do something else. You can do administrative, like hospital admin kind of things, or nurse managers on different floors or units. And I kind of went the research route, and I'm doing a bunch of research. You can be a teacher at a nursing school. So there's so many different things you can do with your degree. I know people who work for private, like clinical research places, like a Pfizer or something, or for distributor medical companies. So you can do a lot with a degree, and I think that's a really big perk. You can change it mid-career too. And the other thing I really love is the collaborations. So you make a lot of collaborations just naturally in nursing, but it's not just with your patients and your families, but with other providers, with researchers, with so many people, that it kind of just opens you up to being able to do so many different things, for you and your career, but also for your patients.
Fantastic. What is the least favorite part of your job?
Dealing with insurance companies. That is hands down my least favorite part of our job. Um, and I've practiced in 3 different states now: New York, California, North Carolina, and they all have very different types of issues with their Medicaid, Medicare, kind of government insurances. And I think having to deal with the barriers that are set up for different things for different patients is definitely the hardest part.
What would you say to a student who's interested in becoming a nurse practitioner?
Oh, definitely do it. I think it's awesome. And you get to do not whatever you want, but you can do a lot of different things in the medical field with an NP degree. You're not in school for as long as an MD. You get to do a lot of the same things. You don't have quite as much debt, but we don't necessarily make quite as much money either. So that's your handoff. But I think it's a really flexible lifestyle. You tend not to have as much on-call time, weekends, holidays, that sort of stuff. So I think it's really rewarding career, and a smart way to go.